Welcome back to In Session In Depth. With a lot of the work this special session wrapping up, more attention is turning to the 2014 campaign for governor. Since Governor Perry said he won't run again, there's plenty of talk about who will be holding his job. On the Democratic side, we've had plenty of rumors, from State Senator Wendy Davis to San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro. But on the Republican side, we already have two confirmed names: former Texas Workforce Commission Chair Tom Pauken and Attorney General Greg Abbott. Right now, Abbott has the largest campaign war chest with more than $23 million on hand. At a campaign event in Austin this week, Abbott talked about the campaign. Well, how's the campaign been going so far?
Campaign is remarkable. I've had the chance to visit the entire state of Texas, all the way from the Rio Grande River up to the Red River, over in East Texas, all the way out to El Paso. And the passion that I see among Texans is stunning. They have a passion for the future of the state, passion for strong leadership, and also a passion to continue pushing back against an overreaching Washington, D.C.
I've heard you in person twice now that you've announced for the governorship, and I have heard you talk about the need for more teachers in this state. I know you've mentioned, the need to cut the fat, I guess the administrators, the people at the top. How are we going to pay for all those new teachers beyond that?
Well, first, the focus has to be in government the way it is in anyone's family. When a family goes home at night, they have to make tough budget decisions. They have to choose between what they need and what they want. And as governor, I want to be making those same tough decisions. What we need is better schools, more access to water, and better transportation. We elevate those needs above everything else. Sometimes that may necessitate cuts in other areas. But for education itself, adding more money is not always the answer. We need to be smarter about it. We can be more effective with regard to the use of technology. We can bring to schools the same kind of innovation that we've seen, for example, in the energy industry, and elevate it just because of that innovation alone. But we're going to be looking for the right solutions that will ensure the next generation is going to get a better education.
With the legislature, they've been tackling the abortion issue lately. Do you feel like the bill that was passed and signed by Governor Perry this week that is going into law, do you think it can pass legal muster? How?
Well, now that it passed out of the legislature, it goes into court, where I will be representing the state of Texas in court. And I do think that the United States Supreme Court, which is where this case probably will wind up, can reconcile both Roe versus Wade and this law, because both of them ensure that a woman is going to have the ability to have an abortion if she wants to, but both of them work to achieve better health care for a woman, and both do a better job, or at least the new law does a better job, of protecting innocent life. So I think the law passed by the Texas legislature can be reconciled with Roe versus Wade.
As a possible future top leader of the state, do you see any part of that bill that you would like to see change?
I think the legislation as a whole is a step in the right direction of achieving the twin goals. The goal of protecting innocent life, but also the goal of protecting the life of the mother. I think the state needs to be focused on both of those goals.
With that legislation specifically, we've seen someone become a rising star in the Democratic Party, Wendy Davis. People are talking about she might be a competitor of yours in the race for governor. What do you think about that possible challenge?
I'm not focused on any one particular person. My focus is on all Texas, and I'm going to be working every single day to work to make the state of Texas an even better place. We're #1 in the nation right now because we have given a stiff arm to California-style politics, Washington, D.C.-style government, and we're going to keep Texas on that right track. So my focus is going to be on all Texans across the entire state.
What do you think about your GOP challenger, though, Tom Pauken? He says he's more conservative than you.
Well, he and others like to talk about me, while my focus is on my fellow Texans. And I'm going to be out there every single day working to earn the vote of our fellow Texans, explaining why it is that I'm the one who has been in the arena leading these fights against Washington, D.C., while I've been the one protecting our liberty under the Constitution in this state, and I am the only proven fighter in this race.
One person I haven't seen on your campaign yet is Governor Perry. Are we going to see him, or are you trying to distance yourself from him?
You'll have to ask him about that.
Would you like to see him?
Everyone knows that Rick Perry and I have been close allies and friends as we battle against an overreaching federal government. We both believe that less government is better, that more liberty is better. And so we will for the next year and a half that he remains in office, will remain allies in working on that fight.
With the ups and downs he had in his own campaign life, do you feel like his endorsement would hurt or hinder your campaign?
You know, I can't play political pundit and predict what endorsements do.
DOMA has been, disputed and also, struck down nationally, and it seems like the nation is going forward to talk about a bigger issue with gay marriage. What do you see as Texas' path through that, as some voters here in Texas do support gay marriage?
Sure. Well, the Supreme Court decision, every single page of it was dripping with one concept more than any other, and that was state sovereignty. And that means that states still have rights under the Constitution. And instead of Texas, the Constitution says that marriage is a union between one man and one woman. So that's the law in the state of Texas.
And that's the way you'll see it staying?
Yeah. My job as the Attorney General is to enforce the laws and the Constitution as they exist. And the Constitution in the state of Texas is that a union is between one man and one woman.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
You can see more from that interview, plus our full interview with the other Republican candidate for governor, Tom Pauken. Just log on to KXAN.com and click on the Legislature tab. There you'll also find our guide to the legislative process in Texas, our list of the major players, and my blog from the Capitol. It's all in our legislative section on KXAN.com. You can email me your thoughts and questions at josh.hinkle@KXAN.com. You can also find me on Twitter @HinkleJ. Thanks for joining us for In Session In Depth. Have a great morning.